Good evening. This is Dr. Malkin, your instructor for Psych 304 Abnormal Psychology for the spring term. Since we've had a couple of days to familiarize ourselves with the syllabus and Canvas, which is new to a lot of instructors and students, I wanted to just do a brief overview of where to find everything so you understand where everything is for the course, because I know it can be confusing. So here's the student view of our course. I, as an instructor, have an instructor view. So anytime you're having an issue with a file upload or a technical issue, please let me know, because in an instructor view it could look completely fine, but in the student view you don't have access to what I think you have access to. So don't hesitate to let me know if something's doesn't look right. So here you'll see on the left-hand panel a bunch of different tabs. So we have Home, Macmillan Higher Education, the syllabus, pages, announcements, discussions, assignments, modules, quizzes, conferences, collaborations, chat, files, and grades. These are going to be personalized to each course shell, so don't be surprised if other instructors have it in different order or some things just aren't available. So here on the home page is where you'll go. You'll see recent activities, so any announcements I've made recently, assignment notifications. You might all have a lot of them since we just uploaded all the assignments, and then any discussions that are currently going on. You'll also see over here a to-do list and what's coming up for you. The Macmillan Higher Education is going to be important because this is the Launchpad access that you've purchased to be able to do the clinical simulations and have access to all of the really cool features that Launchpad has to offer. Launchpad has videos, quizzes, chapter summaries, engaging different activities that really make the information real. So this is very, very helpful. So you'll click Launchpad right here, and this will load you to an email check. So it's going to ask you for your email, and it's going to ask you to pick our course, and all that information is available to you, and it's going to have you link it, put your access code in, and voila, you have access to the Launchpad. So really, really neat stuff here. Everything you do in Launchpad, automatically I have it set to integrate with the gradebook in Canvas. So it's all pretty seamless, or it's supposed to be. So here you'll see the syllabus. This is what Canvas calls a live syllabus. So you see in just a moment when it's done downloading, anything that has a due date in Canvas for this class ends up in this live syllabus. So anytime I change a due date or if something comes up, it will be notated here. Now, my only caveat with the live syllabus is sometimes technical glitches happen, and I don't want you to go by this necessarily as when particular things are due, because things cannot work, as we know, with different technology features. So what I recommend is going ahead and saving the hard copy of the syllabus that can be found right here, and putting those dates in your planner and calendar that you go by, because it's just so much more helpful and accurate that way. So anytime you hover over something that's blue and you see a little hand, that means it's a hyperlink. It can link to a website URL, it can link to a Word document, it can link to an Excel file, it can link to a PDF, a PowerPoint presentation. So that means that there's a file uploaded there that I've given you. So please read over the syllabus carefully. There's a lot of different activities that are going to be due throughout the semester. Pages is a feature of Canvas that's unique. We didn't have anything similar to it in Blackboard, but basically it's where all the general kind of universal information is where I'm going to upload it. Here you'll see the student authentication description that's also in the syllabus, and one of the other nifty features of Canvas is the cross-linking. So here we're in the Pages tab, but I'm going to click this link. This link all of a sudden jumps you to assignments, because student authentication, though it's not worth any points, is considered an assignment because it does have a due date. It is a required university requirement for online classes, and you can submit the assignment here. You can submit a website URL, so if you have a YouTube channel, you want to upload your video to that and submit it, you can do it that way. Media recording or file upload from your phone or from your computer. You can also schedule a Skype, Google+, or Canvas video chat with me to fulfill that requirement if you don't feel comfortable uploading a file, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So let's go back to Pages, but that's how it cross-links. You'll find things in different domains, all of the same information. A lot of this information, especially URLs, you're going to want to bookmark. So here's a link to our 304 Facebook page. This is just another way to get in contact, make sure that I'm communicating in 12,000 different mediums to get the information to you. So you're probably going to want to go ahead and bookmark that. You can feel free to friend me on Facebook as well. You'll just see a bunch of pictures of my kid. So let's go back to the Pages. And here's probably the one that you're going to use most often. This is general resources and APA resources. Here you'll see the general resources. Here's a study tip handout, plagiarism tutorial. You feel free to always email me or contact me if you have specific questions as you're writing your papers and your assignments, but this is a really nice quick reference for any and all potential plagiarism questions you might have. Here's the MUW library URL. I recommend bookmarking that. Here's the undergraduate bulletin. This is a really, really great resource that MUW has to offer. Here are all the degree programs offered here at the W. So let's say we want to go down to psychology. These are all the classes that are required to earn a degree in that. And you can also figure out if there's a prerequisite. So for our class, all of you needed to have taken general psychology and APA in order to register. So this is a really nice reference when you're registering for classes to make sure that you're doing everything properly. MUW banner, you're also going to want to bookmark that. That's how you add and drop classes, check your financial aid status, all of that official business. Here's a quick reference on the Psych Info Research Database, which you might use especially for your final paper. This helps and links you to the MUW library as well. Launchpad resources, here's just a quick PowerPoint presentation of what Launchpad looks like, how you access it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for the most part, just email me if you have any questions. Canvas resources, here's a Canvas student guide, the number 3. This is for any and all questions possible that you could ask. Where is this? How does this work? This isn't working properly. The Canvas student guide is going to be where you find that information, especially if it's a random time of day or in the evening. You email me, I'm not responding. This might be a quicker way to get that question answered. Respondus Lockdown is going to be new to a lot of you. Here's the Respondus Lockdown browser video tutorial and the Respondus Lockdown browser installation instructions. You only need to install this once on your computer, and you'll log into this for every quiz and exam with me. A lot of instructors are using this to really limit the opportunities for cheating. So what the Respondus Lockdown browser does when you log into it to take your quiz or exam as required, you are not able to go anywhere else. So if you were to open up a Facebook tab or you wanted to check your Instagram, it's going to automatically lock you out of your quiz or exam and submit it. So if you're on question 2 or 50, it doesn't matter. I get a notification as the instructor, it locks you out and you're done. So please take this seriously. You can't go on any other web browsers or anything else while you're taking quizzes and exams, and you'll see this in your other classes as well. This APA references and resources page is very, very helpful. This is a quick online reference through Purdue Online Writing Lab. It's wonderful. It shows you a sample title page. It shows you an abstract. It shows you how do I cite this in the actual paper, but how do I cite it on the reference list. Really, really great resources. I've also created templates that you can use and you can type directly into them, but please make sure you delete any of the unnecessary or not applicable information to the project. Otherwise, it's, as you'll see, it's not going to read correctly. And then this is just a really nice resource on why and how to write an APA, why is it so important, and why is it our style of choice for the social sciences. So those are the pages that you have access to. Announcements, as you imagine, this is just going to be where I post really important reminders, upcoming things. If there's an issue or clarification on something, that's where I'm going to post it. Discussions, right here, these are going to be where we have our Unquiet Mind discussion forums as you're reading that book. That book is a really wonderful book. I've gotten great student feedback that it was worth the read. It was actually a fast read, so I'm really looking forward to having that forum opportunity with you. So the introduction to the class, most of you have introduced yourself to the class in here, and that's going to be kind of a similar protocol for when we do the forums, how that works. The assignments, this is just going to be a running list. Anything that has a due date in Canvas is going to show up in your assignments. It's going to show when it's become available, as well as when the due date is and what the point value is. So there you go. That's what that looks like. Now modules is very similar to the content folders that we saw in Blackboard. So they're personalized again. So I have an abnormal psych ebook. So for those of you who like to have digital ebooks, you just need to purchase the Launchpad access code and you can have the ebook. But that means that, you know, it's not going to be physically in your hand. It's a digital copy. You have access to it through the Launchpad access. So that is completely fine. As long as you have either a digital version or a hard copy version of the textbook, you will be fine for the class, but it's really a personal preference. So here's the syllabus module that just has the syllabus loaded in there. Student authentication, here's where you submit that student authentication. Right now we're having some issues. Good evening, this is Dr. Malkin. I apologize for that. Right now we have a little bit of an upload issue with the audio lecture, so be patient with me. Once we do have that, I'll be posting a YouTube channel right here that will give you access to the lectures with the PowerPoint presentations. But here you'll see all of the PowerPoints that do not have audio lectures with them, but still have some very important information for you. Here are all the clinical simulations, the due date, the point values. Those are all going to be accessed through that Launchpad Macmillan link. Here are all the chapter quizzes. Here's the Unquiet Mind quizzes, the Unquiet Mind final paper and resources. So here are some really just neat resources to look at while you're thinking about this. So here I've posted a link to the author, Dr. Jameson. Here she has her actual bio. This is where she works. She's a real life person, that book you're reading about. So it just kind of makes it real, the book that you're reading and what she's been through. So let me go back. So here are all the video activities that you can do through Launchpad to help with any of the different topics and areas. Here are the learning curves. So these are quizzes that aren't going to be graded, but allow you to kind of practice and see where you are with the information. Do you really have a good grasp of that chapter? Do you need to reread that section? So these are very helpful. They also provide you feedback of where you're having trouble, so the questions that you're answering incorrectly. And then here's just a list of all of the course videos. So what does agoraphobia look like? What does autism look like? What does depression and Alzheimer's and cocaine abuse, what do all those look like? We have a video pretty much for anything and everything that you could imagine, and it's right there. Okay, so here's where the quizzes are. As you can imagine, that's all the quizzes. It's going to show when it's available, when it's due, and then what the point value is. The conferences feature is really great. You as a student are going to see this. You're not going to have access to it. So I have to create a conference. So let me leave student view for just a second. And this is just fake, so you can see what it looks like. You'll log into a conference that I've set up, and this is one of the options that we can use for our weekly chats. So this is really neat. You can enable your microphone or you can listen only. It'll show everybody who's in the chat right here. There's a whiteboard feature, so we can talk write like we're writing on a chalkboard or a whiteboard. You can turn on your microphone, you can turn on your webcam. I can share my desktop with you if we're looking at PowerPoint presentation or we're looking at an article or reading the book and we're not really sure what's going on. Then there's the chat feature, just like Facebook chat, instant messaging, that's right there. So this is a really wonderful feature of Canvas that I'm excited about. Really makes it interactive and engaging, which is what I want this class to be for us. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that since it's not real. I'm going to go back to student view so you can see what you actually would see. Okay. Collaborations is really neat. I can't create one right now. You don't have access to this in student view. This is where we can look at the same document through Google Docs. So if you're writing your paper, you want a real-time, in-the-moment editing meeting with me, we can do that. We can do it through collaborations, which is a really neat feature. So let's go back. Chat. It's just kind of like instant messaging. So this is another option that we can do for our weekly chats. It'll list everyone that's here. We can do an individual chat if you ever want to just make an appointment with me. You don't want a video, but you do want that real, I'm right here, not waiting for an email, but want a real-time chat, we can use this feature. The files, that's anything that's been uploaded. The grades, that's going to be similar to the grade book that was in Blackboard. It's going to show all of the assignments, when they were due, the point value. I've also got a page on the last page of your syllabus is a grading breakdown, and you can keep track of your grades there as well. So that's kind of just a real quick rundown of what our Canvas course shell looks like, but please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions or concerns. This is the first run through with this class in Canvas, so there's going to be some trial and error. So I really appreciate your feedback. I want this to be an engaging and worthwhile class for you, so don't hesitate to give me feedback throughout the semester. So let me know if you have any questions at all.